and good afternoon. My name is Jeremy Chai and my matrix number is DI220002. This is Lab 5 titled Understanding SOAP and WSDL file, and I will be doing a video reflection for this lab. In this video reflection, I'll be sharing my understanding of web service, how I've used WSDL and SOAP, and how this concept apply on my calculator project, mail using Java with NetBeans, and Glassfish service. I will also explain why WSDL description are so important when designing web service and explain how to match SOAP elements to WSDL elements. Now I explain the definition of web service. Web service is a software system designed to support communication between machines over a network typically known as Internet. It allows different applications built on different platforms to provide interaction and exchange data each other using a common protocol, usually HTTP. During my study and doing lab of web service topics, I learned about two main types of web service, such as SOAP-based and RESTful. But for today, I will be focusing on SOAP, which stands for Simple Object Access Protocol. SOAP relies on XML to format message, and it's commonly used with WSDL, also known as Web Service Description Language. The idea is SOAP handles the messaging, and WSDL handles the description structure like blueprints. To understand the concept better, I built a calculator web service that includes 4 basic operations such as add, subtract, multiply, and divide. Users or client can send requests using SOAP, and the server returns the result all through the rules defined in WSDL file. Let's make an example of different scenario or situation where web service could be applied. Let's say a case called financial software integration. Imagine a company still using a legacy accounting system written in COBOL. They want to perform a modern calculation like invoice totals or tax breakdowns without rewriting their entire system. With Java-based calculator web service, they can simply use WSDL file to generate SOAP requests. This WSDL tells their system what operations are available and how to communicate. This way, even an old COBOL system can talk to modern Java backend thanks to the standard format provided by SOAP and the structure defined by the WSDL. No need to touch the original code base. Now, here's my calculator project, my server code, Java code on NetBeans. I use web service to expose the class, web method to expose each operation such as add, subtraction, multiply, and division, and web param to label the inputs. When I run this in NetBeans, it automatically generates WSDL file. Client or user can consume the service by sending SOAP requests to the endpoint defined in the WSDL. Let me show you an example. So I have to run this one first. I run. I have to make sure it's run this service. Now, as you can see, my server calculator able to run the server. Now let's run the test web service. I right click my server calculator and click the test web service. And as you can see, this is my service calculator web service tester page. And there's the methods, the functionality where each functionality such as add, multiply, and subtraction and division have 2 parameters. So let's say for the add methods, I put 12. And this one is 20. So I click add. So as you can see, the method return 32. And this is the SOAP request, and this is the SOAP response. A WSDL file is used to describe web service. Why do we need WSDL description, and why is it so important? WSDL is very important because it tells the client what the service does, how to access it, and what data types are expected. It's like an extraction manual for machine, telling them how to interact with the service. It provides description, step-by-step guide for how to send a request, what parameters to include, and what the format of SOAP message should be, and how the service will respond. In the calculator project, my server calculator web service tester, we can view the WSDL file description by clicking this link, WSDL file. After we click, as you can see, we redirect to the WSDL section. As you can see, the URL, they redirect to the WSDL description file. So as you can see, it shows in a XML or XSD structure way to provide the whole description of the whole operation. The WSDL consists the available functions such as add, multiply, divide, and subtract, input, output data types, endpoint URI, and binding style. Now let's go through the WSDL file description to understand the whole workflow of the WSDL. Let's zoom in. As you can see, this is the definition tag, the root element of the WSDL, and with the name of the service, my server calculator. This section is the types where the data types are defined for the my server calculator service, including the the operation add, multiply, subtraction, and division, divide. And as you can see, the message the message is to structure the is to define the SOAP structure, such as the response, such as its response, and such as its request, and just its request message and respond. As you can see, the message name add is the request, and the message name add respond is the response. And this is the plot type section where it defines the operation or methods that are available, such as add, multiply, subtraction, and divide. And each operation shows the name of the method, expected input, and and expected output message. It basically provides the functionality to provide the functionality based on the request to provide the response. Let's say the parameters is two, one parameter is 2 and the other parameter is 3. We press the add button, it perform a functionality, and the response will provide a response which is 5. So this is the binding section where it connect the service method to the actual SOAP. It's to tell how the SOAP message are transferred, typically using HTTP, and the style is the document. It's which means full XML document are being sent. And the last part is the service name, the service section, where it's the actual endpoint of the my server calculation. And this section tell the client to tell where the service live or located. In this case, the my server calculator web service is running on my local host, which is located at the HTTP localhost my calculator, my server calculator. So if a client or user wants to call the add method or operation, they send a SOAP request to that exact URL. Next, the WSDL file can relate with SOAP file as WSDL tell us what element should have inside the SOAP elements. We're going to use the SOAP UI to provide the SOAP file of my server calculator and match its element with WSDL elements. Now we're going to match the SOAP file element with WSDL file element. We're going to use the multiply operation. As we can see, the envelope and the body are standard in the SOAP message, and it match with the binding section, which is here, the binding name of WSDL with the style document. Then we saw the multiply. Multiply match with the port type, my server calculator, where it provide a functionality or to provide the functionality of multiply operation when it's called. And in the binding, it will perform a SOAP action to provide the response based on the action. And in the responses are two parameters, which is A and D. These two parameters are matched in the types, in the types type section, which is the message name malt, where it define the malt. It match with this one, and when we provide a request for a response, it shows that the response have malt response where it match with the malt response in the types elements over here. We match with this, and the hot type also match in the operation name malt. It will provide an output. The action will provide an output, and the binding section, the binding element, it will send a SOAP message, which is over here, based on the input, with the request input, and it will the return 80. The return 80, it will match with the with the with the with the binding name, operation name, multiply or output. Will match with this one. The operation name mult output. So basically, the SOAP is structured based on WSDL file. If we modify anything in the WSDL, like renaming the parameters, the SOAP must also follow the changes. But if it does not follow, it will fail the whole operation. During this calculator project, I discovered how powerful and essential web service can be, especially with a clear WSDL description and SOAP message. Even a basic calculator become a great way to learn about system interoperability, SOAP message formatting, and service contracts. At first, I struggled to understand the XML structure of WSDL and SOAP. But after testing it with tools like SOAP UI, everything started to understand and make sense. WSDL play a huge role in preventing miscommunication between systems, just like how we human need clear instruction. Overall, it was a great learning experience. Thank you for watching.